Everybody, and welcome back. Today, of course, we're going to have a lot of fun, so let's take our hats off and enjoy the day. Hope you guys are doing well out there. It's going to be absolutely awesome show. The top 5 mega projects are coming to PulseChain soon, and we're going to get into all of them, give you the latest and greatest on it. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I've already posted on Rumble the links to the top 5 there, so you can go follow them and join them up on X platform. That's pretty cool. The other thing, of course, is we're going to get into it. I'm also going to post them here on YouTube as well. So let me just post that, see if that gets listed. So hopefully that's gone through as well on YouTube. We shall see. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, but we're going to find out. If not, I'll post them one by one. So hopefully they can show up. So let us know there as well. Now, we're going to get into a lot of the cool things here. So let's see where we're up to and see if we can get into the chat as well. Just trying to see where the chat is here. Let's have a look over on YouTube. It looks like we've got all those links are in there. So big shout out there. One by one, we've got Sun Mini Meal. We're going to cover that. Solid X, the big X game. We're going to cover that. Obviously, Real Pulse Coin. We're going to cover that with Pulse PUSD. We're going to cover Pulse Coin as well, the new Explorer. And we're also going to get into the new Signum Oracle and Tetra decentralized trading platform. It's going to be pretty awesome as well. So you guys are going to love it. It's going to be pretty epic. And a big shout out to everybody over on Rumble. You guys know you guys are crushing it over there. And a big shout out. Don't forget to repost. Hit the repost button right now. And of course, hit the like button and make sure that you're following the channel on Rumble. We really are growing really nicely over on Rumble. So big shout out over there. And on YouTube, you guys know it. You guys are the bread and butter. And you guys have been huge support for years now. So big shout out there. And of course, now we're live streaming on X, which is so exciting as well. So really covering the 3 big platforms there, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. And we're always trying to bring alpha education and really, get all of the crypto and PulseChain markets covered. So that means that we're kind of neutral on everything. We want to get all the projects some love, some light, and of course all the crypto people getting to hear about the best projects out there. So I hope you guys are enjoying the content there as well. Without further ado, we've got a few people in the house there. We've got Hexcavator over on Rumble. Big shout out to you. Wookie's over there as well. And it's great to see everybody there. Nice. And don't forget to get in the chat here on YouTube. See, we've got Brennan in the house on YouTube as well. Howdy, folks. Good to see you, Brennan. We're going to have a fun time. Now, we're going to get into the top 5 projects, mega projects coming to PulseChain. These are big. These are big projects coming to PulseChain. They're going to be significant to the value and community on PulseChain. They're going to add a lot of utility and DeFi to PulseChain. So they're big deals, and they're mega projects, right? They're of major significance. And then in the second half of the show, we're going to get into the markets. Obviously, the markets have had big pullbacks. Even crypto has been moved down by the market makers. And of course, I did say yesterday that we were still in the volatility area until at least the end of next week. So just remember that we have inflation coming out on Thursday. We have the markets opening up. We're going to talk about that, but that's in the second half of the show. The good news in the first half, and the tough love in the second half, I'd say. Then we're going to get to PulseChain updates on the markets, and that's pretty much where we're going to wrap up our show. So let's get into the top 5 mega projects coming to PulseChain soon. Let me know your thoughts as we go through these projects in the chats here. Let us know what you think, because after all, it's all about you guys. So let's get into that. So the first one we're going to be talking about, let's go to the screen and pick this up here. And there we go. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Sun Mini Meal. This is very different for a crypto. And this is kind of the holy grail, because it's like getting the real world matched up with the crypto digital blockchain world, right? And this is extremely exciting. So Sun Mini Meal is obviously a major health food a producer and seller in the European Union. There, it is major, right? So it has really hit the ground running, and a lot of people have really benefited from this. This is a super health food. It's basically low calories, all your vitamins, and of course you also can lose weight, right? So it's like massive. It's like that holy grail of superfood. So very cool. And Sun Mini Meal is coming onto PulseChain in a big way. So it's already got its soil token, SOIL, the soil token trading. I have covered this in a previous video, and it's made some big moves, right? So it's burned the keys to the token, and so that's all immutable now, just running free. and it's coming up in mid-April. It's looking to start burning its token. So we're going to get into all the updates here. And then, of course, once it starts burning its token, it's deflationary, may even become hyper deflationary. And of course, the big secret sauce here, you guys got to know, is that the revenue from the company, about 20% of the revenue is going to be burning off the token with the revenue supply. Is that crazy? That is crazy, guys. Honestly, that is major. How many times do you hear about that in crypto? That is huge. That is huge. And so we're going to get into all the updates here. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Number one on the list is Signum, a big European corporate coming on to PulseChain. And of course, they did a big shout out to Richard Hart, the founder of PulseChain, about them coming onto PulseChain. Now, not only is it going to be burning 20% of the supply, but here's the other big kicker. This is the other big alpha drop. They will be onboarding essentially indirectly and directly their community, their whole customer base, essentially in some way or another to the PulseChain blockchain. Isn't that a mind bender? That's a mind bender. It is a major, major, major deal there. And this innovation is coming to PulseChain. So big shout out to Sun Mini Meal. Very, very cool. So let's get into some of the announcements so you guys get the full-on update. So we are proud to announce that we have officially burned the admin key. So this was back on the 2nd of April. So this is only 5 days ago, and we did cover it at the time, but it's important that we start here, right? It's important we start here. So we are proud to announce that we have officially burned the admin keys of our token soil there, SOIL. So it depends on where you are around the world. I get in trouble with my American friends sometimes with my pronunciations as a Kiwi down under. So soil token or soul, I don't know, you guys decide. Soul normally have a U or something, but soil token, SOIL. And this marks the final step in the transitions from Sun Rewards 1.0 to Sun Rewards 2.0. So these are rewards that run through their business, right? So out of the revenue, 20% goes into this token that we've got here. Now, from now on, the token is deflationary. Very important there. From now on, the token is deflationary. No new supply can ever be minted, so no entity holds the privilege to do so anymore. The updated white paper revised tokenomics will be published soon. Our next steps in April. So this is the big kicker here. Our next steps in April, launch of Banksa. And that's very important. That's their big partner that's going to be onboarding onto PulseChain. So it's very, very important for their customers. And they're going to have their own wallet. The customers are going to have their own wallet, I think, on the website, if I believe. And so they're going to be able to onboard to PulseChain that way. This is game changer, guys. This is really, really big deal. PulseChain's first competitive on-ramp. How about that? PulseChain's first competitive on-ramp. This is a big mass adoption thing, right? This is mass adoption. This is a on-ramp to PulseChain. It is fantastic. What do we got at the moment? Direct on-ramps at the moment. Coast, which is a fiat-backed stablecoin. That's the direct on-ramp, and that's essentially it. Then we have the official bridge, and then we have a couple of other bridge services, right, that you're using in sort of indirect ways of onboarding to PulseChain. So that's amazing, right? That's amazing. So I'm thinking of things like PulseLN and other protocols like that, Portal X and stuff like that. So launch of Banksa, PulseChain's first competitive on-ramp. This is huge. Mega, mega, mega. This is of a mega significance to PulseChain. A big deal. Start of the buy and burn program to accelerate soil's deflation. So for the token itself, that is super bullish as well. So it could end up being one of the very good long-term plays, especially we're coming off the bottom with PulseChain. We've got general market volatility with Liberation Day and the tariffs playing out. Now, we know that those are valuable for short-term pain, but long-term, even medium-term gain. So we're back in that strategy from Trump. I call it the three-legged stool strategy, which is deal with the budget deficit, deal with regulation, and deal with trade. And of course, basically open up the United States there to develop and grow. So it's pretty awesome there. Now we're incredibly excited for the month ahead, and deeply grateful to the entire community that has supported us since the beginning of this journey. It's been a long road and not always an easy one, but we've made it. We're proud of each and every one of you. Thank you for being part of this. So this is exciting, and this is really huge. This is the 2nd of April from the official Sunday Meal team. Now you can see the link. It's number 1 on the chat there, so you can actually go and follow these guys. Right, pretty cool. But we got more. Wait, that was the 2nd of April. And now we had an update from a very important person in the who covers the Sun Mini Meal project on PulseChain. This is PulseChain there, PulseChain. Hopefully, I'm saying that right too. And he gives weekly updates, which is really, really neat because they have these. I think they have these video calls and stuff like that. But anyway, he's got this weekly update, Soil weekly update, and this is based. What day is this? This is based yesterday, I think this is. Yeah, 5th of April. So this is yesterday. We're here on the 7th in New Zealand, but of course it's still the 6th of April in the United States. So this is yesterday. Pulse City in here says Saw weekly update, full recap with Felix, April the 3rd. And of course, this is the latest update there. So TLDR, big changes are coming. There's a new wallet. Now that wallet's not for PulseChain people, that's for the customers of the Sun Mini Mill. So don't get too carried away, but that is for them. Legal approvals for global use. Awesome. Banks are onboarding. That's mega. That's the onboarding part. That's the partnership. Hardware wallet support. Awesome. And referral rewards. We're looking forward to that. We're going to be talking more about that in the future and more. So this is really, really exciting. So let's get to the key topics here. Rabby wallet depreciation. Rabby no longer auto supports PulseChain. We know that, of course. Users must now add their network manually. Sol wallet is in development to fully replace Rabby with better UX, but that is only for the customers of Sun Mini Mill, not for general PulseChain users. Just remember that. Number 2, legal framework for global access. Legal opinions for USA, EU, and Switzerland underway, partnering with a law firm in Munich. Now, these guys are primarily in Europe, right? So they're going to be expanding to the US and globally with this super health food, right? This is mega. And of course, think about it. If they scale up their incomes by tens, hundreds of millions of dollars, potentially even billions of dollars, then obviously that can go on to PulseChain, 20% of the revenue there, buying the SOAR token, onboarding people, big deal, right? So if you do a sale, 20% goes and buys these tokens, and pretty much that's how it works out and gets burned, right? These are pretty exciting. So hardware wallet support, new short format content coming soon. How to use Treasure, Bitbox, and Ledger. Negotiating with manufacturing the discounts and community perks. Onboarding simplicity. Goal by the Apple Pay, Google Play credit via Banksa. No proprietary wallet interface planned. Everything should stay intuitive and clean. Liquidity and price strategy. Liquidity will be boosted ahead of Banksa launch. That's the big thing coming up, potentially mid-April. So we're very excited about it. That's only maybe even a week away. It could be pretty mega there as well. It's going to be so much fun. Now, we got SOAR will be paired with USDC instead of Pulse. Just take note of that for more price stability. They want more price stability around that. And of course, final decision depends on broader PulseChain market dynamics. Now, obviously, if PulseChain goes up, then if it's paired with this stablecoin, it's going to have to go up. It's going to have to be going up by the ratio there. So people have to buy more and more of it or burn more and more of it, which is what's going to happen with the revenue from Sun Mini Mill. And of course, if Pulse goes up in US dollars price, you get the leverage, right? You get if PulseChain goes up 10x and you go up 10x, it's 100x, right? So you get that if that's the case. So they'll have to think about that a lot more. Referral rewards, new referral system, 5% cash back on orders from invited users. And that's going to be pretty big. I think a lot of influencers and community people will be really keen on that. Could add a lot of value to people. More onboarding partners in the works. Now, this is something I really like that I'm seeing in some of these projects. And these are quality projects, right? And that is that there are bringing referral programs into that. So we've got this referral program coming into Sun Mini Mill, but we're also going to see it on X Game, which is coming up. We're about to talk about that soon because that's in the top 5 as well. Community Q&A highlights, PulseChain exploit, no direct impact on SOAR, but caused panic sells. SOAR to Euro there, swap still hard, exchange integrated planning. So they're going to be working on the Euro there from the looks of it. Confusion around token swap deadline. Communication will be clarified going forward. So a quick recap there is in place. So we're going to move around that and get into it. So I think we got a little comments in here as well. And this was from Sunny Meal responding to this update. Thank you so much for this great recap. Just a correction, the Sun wallet will be available exclusively to Sun customers. So it's very important to not be confused with that. It's designed to simplify crypto interactions specifically for their customers who a lot of them will not know anything about crypto. So it's really amazing onboarding. And where they're onboarding to? PulseChain. That's pretty awesome, right? Many of whom have little to no experience with crypto and prefer not to deal with complex wallet interfaces or logic. We're not planning to offer it to the open market, nor do we intend to replace Rabby in that space. So that's very important. That's a qualification of what was said. Only to provide a more accessible alternative for our own customers. So that is pretty awesome. Pretty cool. And of course, by customer, we mean someone who's signed up at minimeal.com. Our focus now and always is Sun and Mini Meal. So if you do want to become a customer of Sun and Mini Meal, not only get their amazing super health food and lose some weight, you can also get participate in their crypto soil and wallet on PulseChain. So it's a way to get around all that. So very excited. And of course, that's why we won't be developing a dedicated wallet for the general public. Everything we build revolves around Sun Mini Meal, our mission, and our soul token. How about that? I love it. I love it. I love it. Pretty cool. Hex Scout here asked some questions. Got it. So it's really about perfecting the onboarding experience to bring the targeted millions of users onto PulseChain or protect them from risk of falling to victims to scams. Strong move. So he's got that's pretty cool. He goes, and Sunamino goes, correct. It's all about optimizing the onboarding experience and making Soil easily accessible to everybody. As for on-ramps, banks are set to launch in April. Woo! And will be available internationally. We're currently finalizing the legal opinion for the US to confirm that Soil is not classified as security. Once that's in place, all legal hurdles will be cleared. In the meantime, the Bankster team is working on final technical integrations. After that, we are good to go. That's what we love to hear. That's what we love to hear. Beyond that, we're, of course, on ongoing discussions with other on-ramps and exchanges, always with the goal of making Soil more accessible. So that's their token, more accessible to everybody. I can't share too many details just yet, but rest assured, it's all in motion there. Everyone is excited. So I've got to give that some love for sure. So that's pretty cool from the team. So that was from Sunny Mini. I'll just kind of quickly look on the others. I think that's it. So kind of cool. That is from there. So, but now we've got even more. So that was there from the 5th, summarizing the 3rd update for the week. But now, of course, we've got an update here on video from Sunny Mini itself. Now, unfortunately, I don't speak German. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ich bin Superman. Ich bin Superman. Wie geht's raus? Wie geht's? That's about as much as I get. That's how the movies. That's how the movies. So that's pretty much it. But they do have a very good video. They've just done this update. This is brand new. This is today. They did this at 5 o'clock this morning. So that's about 7 hours ago. And if you speak to German, you can go through and see their whole report. But they got it all. They got it all, breaking down their products. And of course, it's pretty cool. These are the guys here. So this is Wolfgang Grabner. He's the founder of Sun AG. I understand also he was a Hex OG as well. Pretty cool. And Brian says, put it in Google Translate, boss. Yeah, I don't know about that. I do not know about that. But that's just the way you go there. And of course, we've got Martin in there. So we've got some cool updates here. Let me jump through some of these slides just as we're going here, because I want to get to some of the cool stuff here. So let me just jump through. They've got a lot of stuff around the token and stuff like this at the end. So you can see the token there inside their products there. So you got the Sun there. So they obviously got purchasing. And then, of course, they've got the Soil token here, and they've got the Soil buy and burn program. So this is how it works in there. That's how it's going to work there. And they've obviously put this on this chart, which is pretty cool. And, of course, 5% Soil bonus there as well. They get it for their being a member. So gold member, silver member, bronze member of Sun Mini Meal from the looks of it. So that's a quick update. So we've got 2 5% bonuses in there from the looks of it. Very cool. So they do break down a little bit about how their protocol works. And so it's in German, so I don't understand that, so I can't go through that. But they do have a breakdown. In fact, I think they even went through the chart here. So let me just quickly see if they have got the chart here. That's the whole team. Yeah, they go through the Soil token. They go through Pulse. They also go through the Soil token on the charts here as well, which is pretty cool. So you can kind of see Pulse Soil token there. Pulse is down 60%, Sunny Meal, and they've got relationships there. So these guys are onto it. This is serious stuff. These guys are doing serious stuff here on PulseChain. Very, very cool with Soul rewards. And, of course, they're going to be buying, burning at Soul as well, increasing the value, right? So the more value they have going through Sun Mini Meal, the more value they're going to have through going to Soul token, the more value they're going to have going through PulseChain, right? So that's just a win-win-win across the board. It's a mega, mega deal there. I'm going to post the video to this in the chat there. Some of you may speak a German, speak of the Deutsch. Let us know. Speak of the Deutsch. I don't know. It sounds even funnier when a Kiwi tries to say that speaking the Deutsch. I don't know. It's crazy. All right, so that is it on Sunday Mini Meal. Very, very cool. Now, I'm going to have a look in the chat in a minute, but we're going to get up to Solid X. Before we get up to number 2, Solid X, we're going to get into it. So X Game and Solid X, that's up next. But we've got quite a few chats in the chat there, so I'm going to get to some of those. A big shout out to everybody over on Rumble. Of course, you guys are rocking it. A big shout out to everybody on X. Just keep up the comments and repost on X, repost the live stream because people get to watch it anytime they want, right? Carino says, love the chat box on here. Hey, appreciate that so much. That's Carl, sorry. I said Carino. That's hilarious. Carl, good to see you, Carl. We got Brian says, plant-based for the win. Yeah, Very healthy food, very healthy. I can't wait till we get it here because that's like a perfect. You get all the nutrients that you need, and of course you get lower calories, which means that you can burn your calories down, right? So pretty cool. I think it's only like 800 calories or something, 2 bars a day or something like that. Brennan says, I heard toxic is a carnivore. It probably is true. Let's see what else there. Wookie says he likes to feed the plants to the cattle. Very nice. I timed him out for you, Brian. Nice one, Brennan. Appreciate that. Let's see who else is in there. We're going to jump through some of those comments. Hey, we've got Next in the house there. Big shout out. Dark horse for PulseChain community. How about that? Dark horse for PulseChain community. Pretty awesome. Actually, next, I've got a post coming out after the live stream on Dark Horse. So I'll be commenting on that. In fact, I'll probably be doing 2 posts on Dark Horse today. We're going to be exploring Dark Horse and posting stuff out about that. It really is got that mystery brand. And man, your artwork for Dark Horse is just next level. If you guys haven't checked out next Dark Horse artwork by Next, it's amazing. So big shout out to him. In fact, he's done some amazing artwork there. And these are like mini movie videos. And they're so awesome. So big shout out to you, man. Everybody is taking notice of what you're doing. So hit us up as well because we'd love you to do some stuff for us. Big shout out there. So if you guys haven't joined Superman Crypto Gems on Telegram, you definitely need to join up to that. And so don't forget to do that. I think I posted the link to Superman Crypto Gems at the top of Rumble. Not sure if I've got it here on the chat here, but maybe one of the mods can post it in, maybe MV or somebody like that. We got Brian in the house. Good to see you, Brian. And of course, Brian there gifted 5 Kryptonite Show memberships to the YouTube. Big shout out there. Thank you so much. And who got them? We got Media Play got them. Well done to you. Congratulations. We got Pound for Pound got one. Congratulations. Baseline got a free membership. Big shout out there on YouTube. SJV got one. It was awesome. And finally, Tortoise Johnny. Hey, TJ. Hope you're doing well. Living it well. I got my rhymes going on here. I got some Eminem rhymes going. What is Eminem? Doesn't he just like turn the words a little bit? That's how he speeds them up. I think that's what his trick is like. What else there? We got NJ in house there. PulseChain adoption. Is this real? It is real. Very, very real. That's why we're covering it. It's a mega project, which is on PulseChain, but it's about to come onto PulseChain with the onboarding bridge, which is pretty awesome through Bankster, which we're going to cover in future. So that's just a teaser for what we're covering in the future because it's going to be major there for Bankster. That's a big deal. We'll be covering this more as we move forward to that launching. You will get solid coverage there. Another beautiful day on the course, says Crypto Bros. Certainly. And of course, a great job there from Crypto Bros there from Dark Horse. Big shout out to you, man. Doing great, man. What do you get? Like a 4 or 5x in your price? And I think you guys just hit 200 members in your Telegram. Amazing there. So well done to you. Big shout out to all your team out there. Big shout out to MV House in the house as well. Put it in Google Translate. Can't do that. Let me jump through some of these. Wookie says Sun Mini meme. Yeah, that would be actually pretty good, actually. And we got another super sticker there from Next. Nice one. Awesome stuff there. Appreciate that. Big shout out to you, Dark Horse, for the win. Dark Horse riders here, Superman. Love from us. I appreciate that. Big shout out. Let's see. Yes, love the dark side, says Wookie. Pretty mysterious there. Yeah, if you guys haven't joined up there, check out Superman's Crypto. We got different links there from people. So big shout out there. That's Brian's link. So there we go. And we got Wookie's link as well. Big shout out there. Now, Diamond Hands, you're in the house. Hey, good to see you, Diamond Hands. Hope you're doing well. PulseChain, man. We are looking to revitalize the energy in PulseChain. So you're going to see us, talking about big projects, talking about small projects. We are looking to really get great coverage for everybody. And of course, we are looking to, really step up and do that stuff. So I hope you guys have noticed that. We're really trying to get the energy going because we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming to PulseChain, and we're not going to let anyone pull us down. So definitely this show today, this top 5 mega projects, this shows you some of the quality that's coming to PulseChain. It is really, really exciting there. If you're a team, of course, you want to get some, get us to have a look at what you're doing, let us know. Contact us. And of course, get into Superman Crypto's Gems. That's a good place to target us, or in the Discord. The links to Discord, of course, in the video description. Everybody can join up to that today. Only $12.50 for a community leadership membership, and of course, $35 for our strategy club, which is like next level. In fact, I'm doing posts in strategy club today, and of course, that's some good insights in there. So you don't want to miss that. All right, so let's get back into it. We're going to get to number 2 Number 2 here, SolidX. Now, SolidX is pretty amazing because SolidX has a lot going for it, because this is run by one of our big whales on PulseChain called Firewhale. And he just seems to like to have so much integrity. Seems like such a good guy. And so we love this sort of stuff, right? We want integrity projects. We want good, valuable projects. We want very good community projects. And of course, that raises the brand, raises the value on PulseChain for everybody, right? So pretty exciting. SolidX here bringing out some good stuff. So Firewhale, of course, is a friend of Randy Halasky, one of the big influencers on PulseChain. And Randy always does a great job. He's got his no permissions social group, a bit like we have the Discord and the Strategy Club, and of course the Superman Crypto Gems. We have those 3 things. He has his no permissions, and of course you can check that out too. He holds weekly updates for that. So SolidX is evolving. The best time to build is down the times. This is hot off the press today, by the way. This is the latest from SolidX. And of course, they're bringing on X game, right? This is going to be a major game on PulseChain, but it's not just PulseChain. It's going to be on base chain, multi-chain, and they're going to have some secret sauce, which I've covered before. They're going to have a big referral program, which I think is going to be possibly make this an absolute killer viral app. Now, I did a lot of coverage of Bitfury. Many of you would know Bitfury. It's one of the top crypto sites for casinos on the planet. It's very big. They've been going for years. They are very professional. They do lots of great products. And of course, it's exciting to see this coming to PulseChain now with the likes of Jacob, of course, with the first world peer-to-peer decentralized crypto casino, of course, PulsePot and BNP Pot, but also with Mafia coming and other games coming as well from Jacob. We're looking for the holy grail of slot games, of course. Everyone's looking for those. But here we are with SolidX, another team bringing us some really quality products. They wanted to go full-scale decentralized casino. They're starting off with a crash game called X Game, right? So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So the best time to build is in the downtime. So true. The X Game will set the innovation bar exceptionally high and bring entertainment and fun to PulseChain. How amazing is it to think that people playing the X Game on other chains like Base will be supporting SolidX and SolidX holders over the PulseChain. So, a revenue that's collected over on other chains, and this could go multi-chain, probably Solana, other chains. I don't know about Solana because obviously not EVM, but they will go to other chains, other EVM chains. This could be massive, massive, massive there as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. We will supporting SolidX and SolidX holders over the PulseChain. So this really, we talked about soil token for Sun Mini Meal. So that's maybe something you could look at picking up. It's up to you. Got to do your due diligence. But of course, here we've got X Game. And we've also got SolidX, right? So these are tokens that you could particularly pick up as well. So this could be a little bit of a hot tips at the moment. Obviously, do your due diligence. Nothing is financial advice on this channel. But yeah, that's going to be pretty huge. So these are really big burners, essentially for Soil Token, for SolidX and X Game. Well, X Game's a pump tire, but definitely for SolidX, the original coin. So it's going to be pretty cool. That's right, xgame.io. It proceeds from any chain will migrate over to PulseChain and buy and burn SolidX. Isn't that awesome? X Game proceeds from any chain will migrate over to PulseChain and buy and burn SolidX off the market, creating deflation and price appreciation. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's time to front run that move because this could be launching, any week now. We were expecting the casino licenses, right? So they're going to get an official casino license. They may be one of like 2 or 3 crypto projects in the world that are doing casinos that actually have crypto game licenses, or at least casino licenses. And so they're waiting for that. They applied for it like 2 months ago. So they're going to get it any week now. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. So pretty exciting. So that's coming to PulseChain. That could be really huge for SolidX. How bullish is that? How bullish is that? The highly addictive and fun X Game will be constantly buying and burning SolidX. Woo! So first we had Sunny Meal with their revenue, their big customers, potentially hundreds of thousands, millions of customers potentially. They're already doing millions and millions of dollars already coming in and burning their token soil with their revenue. Now we've got revenue from X Game going to be burning SolidX. I mean, this is the innovation. This is the real world activities here, either through a traditional business or through online businesses burning of these tokens. So these are really, really awesome. So pretty bullish, I think. I wonder if there are more games on the roadmap. So obviously they're looking to broaden out from the crash game into a more full game here. And I think that's pretty exciting, right? So that's pretty exciting too. So that's kind of cool. Look at the design of the icons below and you can get an idea for the direction we might be heading in. So I got a little bit of teasers here. Such an exciting time to be here at the lows of the market. We have the opportunity to accumulate like never before, which I think is pretty awesome. This is going to be awesome there. So such exciting times to be here at the lows of the market. We have the opportunity to accumulate like never before and truly be the house of SolidX, which I think is pretty awesome as well. Now I'm just going to do something quickly here. You guys can look at these little images here and decide what games are coming to the PulseChain with SolidX with this X game. It could be pretty mega, right? So definitely check that out. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, so that is it. So let's have a look here. We got SolidX. We got this little whale game. So let me know in the chat what you think that is. Whale game, you might know. And yeah, let me know there. Ben says, congrats on the new GMs Telegram. I joined last week and it's looking good. I appreciate that, Ben. Big shout out to you. A very, very highly valuable member there as well. So big shout out there. Hey, look, check that out. So that is pretty cool. Let me just pull up this as well. I'm just trying to do some stuff in the background here. But that is awesome. Now, let me know what you guys think that game might be. I think that's pretty awesome. So definitely do that. So we got about 120 people watching at the moment. So big shout out to everybody. You guys are doing awesome over there on X, awesome on YouTube, and awesome on Rumble. Man, freedom and prosperity. I wish that upon all of you. And we're really trying to just be excited about PulseChain, especially through the hard times and looking at all these mega opportunities coming. It's going to be in good hands. And my encouragement to people is to get into the good projects, get away from the bad projects and get into the good projects. And that's the way to go, right? That's the way to do well in crypto, especially in the down times, right? Pretty cool. So that's some of the really, really exciting things coming from SolidX. Now, that is number 2 on our list. So you should see that in the chat, number 2. And that is from SolidX. So big shout out to Firewhale, big shout out to Randy Alaski and all the team people in SolidX, because that is super exciting coming up there. And of course, they've got 4 tokens, right? They've got SolidX, the original token. That's the one that's going to get burned from the revenue from this game. It's going to have a 30% referral benefit to influencers. So that's going to go mega viral. Come on. There's a lot of influencers out there. And I'm not just talking about YouTubers or X, people doing video streaming. I'm talking about people that have big networks. I'm talking about the little guy that might have 2 people and he decides, I'm going to get into this, and he ends up having 1,000 people play this game and he does well as well. So this is an opportunity for small, medium, and large players on the field. And so it's pretty cool. So big shout out to those guys. And definitely check out Randy Alaski and No Permissions there. He's doing a great job out in the community. And let's jump into the next one here. We've got another update, of course. They played it on a testnet. So you can actually play this game, this crash game, on the testnet. And they had some early results out. And I did cover this previously, but I just want to highlight a few here. And this was from the X Game testnet competition before the game goes live. So we could have the game coming live within maybe the next 4 to 6 weeks. It could be very early. It could be in a few weeks. So do got to keep your tabs on this. It's just around that game license, right? And their ramp up. They have 7,500 rounds playing on PulseChain, which is amazing. This is just early testnet stuff. Based on testnet dollars, about an average bet of $100 with 220 unique players. Pretty cool. And they each played an average of each round played an average of 3 players, with some popping off with 10 DGNs plus going head to head. Now, this is without any referral program, without any influencers passing this. I wonder if you ever remember. Do you guys remember the Friends DApp that all the influencers started pushing because the people could buy and sell them as a stock, they trade them as stock? Well, this could be like that, but more sustainable. This could be really, really huge. I'm very excited about where this could go. Your feedback was keys, and our devs are now working hard behind the scenes to integrate your suggestions, polish the experience, and roll out the next test phase. More action and, of course, more innovation, and that is pretty cool. So this was back a few days. You can kind of see their little promo video, which I think is pretty awesome. And, of course, that's just the crash game is in the play. Now, if you guys have ever played crash game on casinos like Betfury, for example, you know how popular these games are. They are kind of some of the anchor games on those big sites. Very, very cool there. It's going to be absolutely amazing there. So looking forward to it. You got big influencers already covering it. Look at this. You got Crypto Coffee here. He's probably the largest influencer overall on all metrics in the PulseChain community. He's covering it, right? So he's got almost 60,000 followers on X and probably 40,000 or 50,000, something like that on YouTube. So you got him coming. You got Access Alive, another huge influencer in the space. He does a lot of TA charting, trading, and things like that. He's doing amazing there with Access Alive. He's got his own coin as well. So you got a lot of people paying attention to this X game, and of course Randy Alaski himself. So this could be pretty mega. You watch this one. It's going to be a lot of fun to see it play out. I can't wait for that. Now, obviously, the caveat is obviously getting the casino license, but I think they're probably going to have a very good chance of that. So let's see that play out. Going to be a lot of fun. So that is number 2. That is number 2, folks, on our list. Let's see if we've got any more comments before we get to number 3, because we are ramping through these absolutely awesome projects coming to PulseChain, which I think is pretty exciting as well. So not bad. Now, I've got to get in the right orders here. It's very important. So let's make sure we're in the right order. And let's go into some of these comments. I'm just having a look over on Rumble. Big shout out to everybody over there. If you're watching over on Rumble, get into the chat there. We love the community getting involved, so definitely start chatting away. We look forward to that. I'll read out some of those comments on the chat on the live stream. From my understanding, says Ben, X game has only a house advantage of only a few percent, which is important for not getting wrecked over the period of time, says Ben. Nice insight there. Thanks, Ben, for that. And we got Triple Alliance in the house. That hiya, peeps. Hey, good to see a Triple Alliance. You're doing amazing out there. Solid X is a solid token. That's from Triple Alliance there. Some wise words. And of course, with the burning from all the revenue, it's going to be amazing. Now, if you're watching on X or on YouTube or on Rumble, don't forget to get in the chat there, man. It's all about you guys. And you guys have all got something good to say. So get in there and let your comments be known as we're going through this list. And of course, you can post to talk about a few other projects as well. And so, yeah, just get in there, folks, and have a good time. All right, and don't forget, smash the subscribe and follow buttons. We're streamers after all, so smash it. That's the way to go. All right, let's get into number 3. Number 3 is, of course, massive. On PulseChain, we have 4 liquidity forks. So we got 2 from Liquid Loans, 1 from Power City. No, sorry, 1 from Liquid Loans, USDL, 2 from Power City, PXDC and HexDC. Those are backed by PulseX and Hex, the Richard Hart coins. And then we have a 4th one there, Ink Printer there from Abdul, who's done an amazing job. They just recently launched that. In fact, it's so amazing, it's got the biggest liquidity as well. So he's done a good job there with that, and that's been running pretty well. So we've got 4 liquidity forks. Obviously, liquidity is a model that's been super popular and forked all over the place. It is a highly collateralized protocol for stablecoins and offers a very durable product. The only problem is it struggles on scalability. And of course, therefore, it runs out of people wanting to take out loans, and loans will be dependent on which part of the cycle we're in. Are we in a bear market, a bull market? We're on a low trend or a high trend. It really does depend. And so it has a few shortcomings with what they call scalability amongst the stablecoin trilemma, right? So it's very good for the collateral side, but it does face demand limits at any particular point in time, and also scalability and usability in the market, right? So it stops the amount of printing at certain stages. It's not moving around the protocol very much, leveraging other assets in there. So it does have its limitations. But here it comes, Jacob, I would say, arguably the world's best peer-to-peer developer, bringing on PUSD ALGO. And I think this is going to be an absolute game changer. This is a stable coin plus a DeFi platform. So the DeFi platform is going to have a V3 DEX. It's also going to be offering multiple yield opportunities on the platform as well. So it's got a very good place for people to park their money, particularly in times of volatility. All right, when speculative assets are really getting hit hard, it's a great place to preserve capital and earn income. So it has a lot of opportunity in the market. And PUSD is going to be the stablecoin. It's got the perfect brand, Pulse USD. You can't do better than that. And of course, we know recently that Jacob hired a dev team to get this over the mark. And we're going to be talking about another product that's coming up, Signum Oracle, which is a prerequisite for this to launch. Obviously, recently we had the Fetch Oracle launch. That was a product from Liquid Loans, and this is coming too. So we're being patient. It's going to come, and we're looking forward to it, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, obviously, we're encouraging a lot of people to participate because I think there's a big opportunity here, and it is a sacrifice project, but I call it a contribution because here's the difference between other sacrifice projects. Up to 75% of the funds are going into the protocol day one. So they're going to go into liquidity pools. They're going to go into the stability miner, which is the secret source of this project. That is why it's algorithmic. But these stability miners keep the peg. And of course, over a year ago, we saw this run as a test, this whole algorithmic model run as a test on PulseChain live. and it worked like a boss. It was incredible. The peg was better than Liquidity Forks, better than even Coast Fiat's a stable coin, and that has value in the market when you can be as close to peg as possible. Now, with things that are not close to pegs, you have arbitrage opportunities, and those are useful. But when you've got something that's close to a peg of $1, that has its own value, right? So this could be massive, and if it's as successful as we think it's going to be, it could actually be copied over to other chains as well, just like Liquidity has been copied by so many people out on all these EVM chains. So a huge opportunity from my point of view, and of course by arguably the world's best peer-to-peer developer, Jacob. And I think this is his flagship project. I think this is the flagship project. We know he's doing some amazing stuff with the top GameFi. He's got Mafia out there at the moment. He's got obviously that also has the only metaverse on PulseChain. It's also the number one NFT marketplace on PulseChain. So he's really kicked that out of the park, and he's ramping that game up phase by phase to get up to the launch. And of course, he's tweaking the balancing of that game. He's adding more features and all sorts of stuff to get that to launch. And of course, that's got a big giant prize pool in that one. But here with PUSD ALGO, I think this is the flagship DeFi side of his ecosystem, and it's amazing. And of course, it could all be integrated together. We also know that his third part of what he's doing is working on some big casino platform that's going to be even bigger than we've ever seen before, potentially integrating Pulse Predict, his sports betting site, and price predicting site, a Pulse Pot, the crypto casinos, BNB as well. This could be pretty mega. Imagine getting all this stuff together on some mega platform. This could be the vision. I don't know. That later part is my speculation, but very excited about this. Now, PUSD ALGO is kicking away there. Now, another influence in the space here, I call is Cult DeFi. Now, he's the front man for Jacob. He does all his PR stuff. He's another influencer in his own right and does an amazing job there. And I call him a gateway influencer on PulseChain. What does that mean? Well, that means that he has access and relationships with many other PulseChain influencers, and he's very good at it, and he's a genuine guy, and so people love to deal business with them, which is pretty awesome. And so having a gateway influencer is pretty awesome. There are a couple other gateway influencers out there, but not many, because a lot of us normally just do our own thing, but we are reaching out to others and trying to get more connected. So that's pretty cool. And he's been doing some very good update videos on this as well on PUSD ALGO, which is pretty cool. And I think the animation is going to be awesome here. So let's go quickly to the platform. It's going to be pretty awesome. Now, this is number 3 on our mega projects coming to PulseChain, and this is mega. It is awesome. Now, obviously, at the moment, there are 2 ways of getting bonuses in this contribution, as I call it, and that is number 1, for free, you get 19% referral bonus. You got to get that. There are people that are contributing, sacrificing this project that aren't using any referral code. Don't do that. We love crypto because part of it, we get airdrops and free stuff. Well, you don't want to miss out on getting bonuses when you're doing a contribution to this project. So that's pretty crazy. Now, you can get a 19% bonus with PUSD ALGO in the video description, but I'm also going to post it here in the chat there if you guys want to participate with that. Now, someone or 2 people this week have already contributed, and so big shout out to you, and I've helped some of them out as well. So I hope you guys are doing well there, and we're going to sort a few things out as well with you guys. So that's pretty cool. So there we are with PUSD ALGO. Definitely get in on that. That is awesome. That is the next big one. So imagine there's 3 different models in crypto. There is a fiat-backed coin. We got that already. Coast, tick. We got a tick for that on PulseChain. We got 4 liquidity forks at the moment. Tick, 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 tick. We got liquid loans, USDL, PXDC, HEXDC, and of course, Ink Printer out there with its own token. So those are all going very well. And now we're going to have the 3rd model. And imagine a triangle, the 3rd model, which is going to be our scalability model, and that is PUSD ALGO. And this is going to be pegged from the beginning at $1. So at first it'll be a little bit of shakiness, and then it will be pegged from $1. And this is not going to be, a speculative stable like PDI or some other coins, speculative stables out there. This is from day 1, pretty much. If not by day 2, it'll be pretty good once, of course, all the miner bots are up and running. So you can contribute to that. There is the address there. You get a 90% referral bonus. Now, if you do $840 plus the 90 referral bonus, that will get you to about $1,000. That will get you access to the next bonus, which is even bigger. That's up to 2x. Now, we don't know what it's going to be. It's a random number between 1.01 and 2x. But if you get a pretty good score, you're going to be very thankful for that. So that's kind of a bonus on a bonus there. Now, the key to this, of course, is the stability miner. And this is where the heart is. So people provide liquidity to stability miner, and therefore it's going to peg the dollar. Now, obviously, some of the funds that are going to be raised are going to be supporting the stability miners as well. Imagine these like 40, 45 bots, 100 bots, all they're going to peg the stable coin. And of course, people can mint that with the ALGO. So ALGO is the ALGO coin. That's the main coin on here. You mint PUSDL, which is a stable coin that's going to go into LP pools, be used for leverage and staking and all sorts of stuff. And then you're going to be able to stake, of course, on many projects on the earn page, on the stake page, all that good stuff. And you're going to be able to earn yield. Now, the other thing, there's a third token called the Flex token. That's a reward token. So that's going to be, as everything you do on this platform, you get reward for. That's going to be pretty awesome. Now, remember, sitting in behind this is a V3 DEX, and that could very well be the second biggest DEX on PulseChain after PulseX. So watch out 9mm, watch out 9-inch, because PUSD Algo is coming, and this is going to be a lot of fun to see this play out. So yeah, keep a look out there. Now, I did a video series about a year ago with Jacob. You can just type in PUSD Algo in the YouTube, and you'll be able to find that whole series, little video clips, just one after another. They'll give you a good introduction. Now, he's hired new devs, and so we're expecting a few updates with PUSD 2.0, as I call it. So we'll probably have a different user interface and things like that, a few little changes. But apart from that, the basic idea does still go. So we're looking at miner bots as kind of the heart and soul of this protocol, full DeFi algorithmic solution coming to PulseChain. Got to be excited about that. So I know I am, and I know Cold DeFi is, because he's out there absolutely promoting it big time. So let's see where we go with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, we got Brian in the house there with the big thumb up there. Big shout out there. Hope you're doing well there, Brian. And big shout out to everybody watching at the moment. It looks like we've got about let me see here. And we got about 190 people watching at the moment. So big shout out to everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time on PulseChain. We're about to rev things up. It's time to get excited about PulseChain. When the markets are on their darkest, time to get excited. And that's why we're doing all these awesome videos covering some of the most awesome projects coming to PulseChain. We've got awesome projects that we're covering at the moment. We've got awesome projects coming, and I hope you guys and really enjoy this stuff and get out there on X. Just to get out there and just get the excitement going. That's my encouragement to you, and that's what my team that we work with. We're that's all we're talking about. We don't, we go, okay, the market's down. We can't do anything about that. But what we can do is we can go out and get excited. We can go out and talk about projects that are really good, and that's what we're doing. So definitely smash up the subscribe button, hit the follow button, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content. At the same time, I think it's also about education. And we're trying to cover all the different aspects of crypto as well at the same time as talk about amazing projects and obviously markets as well. We do a lot of that too. So pretty exciting. All right, let's get straight into it. We're going to get back into number 4. We're up to number 4, I think. So let's get into that. And of course, number 4, I'm super excited about, and I hope you guys are too, because I think this is going to be pretty outstanding. Number 4 is coming up. Oh man, I'm just so excited. I'm not even talking about it yet. We're just going one alpha project after another. Is this madness? Sun Mini Mill. We got a flipping global corporate from Europe onboarding onto PulseChain coming up mid-April. I mean, come on. This is insane. It's crazy. And then we've got obviously X game, massive game coming. I think it's going to be potentially, it could be a viral killer there, and a viral app, I should say, on PulseChain and multi-chain. It's going to be amazing there. And now we've talked about PUSD Algo, the ultimate algorithmic stablecoin, kind of the holy grail of crypto, coming to PulseChain. And now we're getting into number 4, which I think is really neat. And I think you guys have wanted this for a long time. So we're going to get into this too, because I think it's absolutely amazing. So let's get into it. And that is PulseCoin. PulseCoin is coming. And you know what? Many of us complain about our block explorers. We've got a couple of block explorers, I think from at least, 3, maybe 4 block explorers. And we're looking for something that's really next level, real AAA quality. And it looks like we're going to get it. Finally, we're going to get Block Explorer that is going to be, real high quality. And PulseCoin looks like they're going to bring it to us. So very excited about that. So this is their X site. You can see that on the chat there at number 4. Driving PulseChain's cutting-edge DeFi Midgard Explorer is coming to PulseChain. I'll say it again. It sounds like something out of Lord of the Rings. As you guys know, I live in New Zealand. It is the land of Lord of the Rings. In fact, it's not too far from me where the hobbits live. Yeah, I'm just saying. The hobbits do not live very far from me. I'm not kidding you. It's just down the road almost. I mean, New Zealand's not a big place, so everything's just about down the road. But it is just down the road. Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm not a hobbit. That's for sure. I'm not a hobbit, but I'm certainly not an elf. But we're getting there. So this is PulseCoin. It's coming there. Midgard Explorer and Security Scanner for clarity. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Launchpad rewards for PLSC stakers as well. This is coming to the PulseChain, which is going to be pretty awesome. Now, they've got little video clips here, and I'm going to play one of these. Imagine if PulseChain had the fastest block explorer ever. We're cooking up something exciting. No, we want something that's fast, something that's not glitchy. We want something that is beautiful looking and clean and simple and elegant, I guess. And that's what we're getting, I think. So let's go. I've got a little video here of this video. I've got a video of a video. So let's see if I can pull this up because let's have a look here. Bam. I think we got that. And let's play this. So this is a little animation running through, which I think is pretty awesome. So you can check that. It's got latest transactions, latest blocks. It's got the transaction detail with the hashes, all the details in there. It's got the pulse value. It's got the gas limits. It's got announcers, everything that you can imagine in a blockchain. And it is clean. It looks smooth. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Look at that. Success. A beautiful layout. Man, this is what we wanted. This is Christmas time for PulseChain geeks and nerds. And this looks pretty good. Address there. Look at that pulse balance. It's looking so smooth. Look how quickly this is moving around. So I'm very excited for that. Abdul says, I'm still here for the tech. Yeah. Well, there's part of the community. I did a poll on that the other day, actually. What are you in crypto for? And that was the fourth option. I'm here for the tech. In fact, I probably should bring that up if I can find it, but that's pretty hilarious. Hey, big shout out to Signum and Tetra. We got one of the team members here. Hey, Neil, good to see you. Hey, everybody, big shout out to you. And of course, D Hexagon as well. Hans is a great dev. Looking forward to this. Absolutely. Look at that, how smooth that is, man. Oh my God. I got to bring that back, that last bit there. Look at that. So that is the PulseChain Explorer there. Look at that stuff. Amazing. So PulseChain market cap, that is absolutely awesome. Even a chart, that's fantastic. And this is one of two products that they're bringing from the looks of it. And the other one is a DeFi platform, which I'm going to cover it separately. So I haven't talked about that today, but it's coming up, and that looks absolutely incredible. So awesome stuff happening there. And I may very well get the team on to do a live stream because this is highly worthy. Look at that stuff. Is that awesome? That is the video there. I had to cover that. That is so sweet. So I'm looking forward to that. And that looks like it's coming soon as well. And in fact, they did a live stream today. So you can go check that out as well for some of the latest and greatest. But that is from PulseCoin. And oh my gosh, it feels like Christmas is coming early. And here we are in April. So maybe, well, we know Easter's coming. So this is an Easter surprise. That's for sure. So that is number 4, folks. That is number 4. That is a big deal. And of course, that's going to get us less stressful having a Explorer that just is fast and elegant to look at, and of course has lots of key information that we're after. So I think that's going to be pretty epic as well. So big shout out to the PulseCoin team there, and you can find the link to that at the top of the chat there. We've got next in the house says love to all PulseChainers, 100%. UFO to go. The suit man is back. He is back again, and he's fighting the kryptonite here on the Kryptonite show. That's how we roll. That's how we roll as well. So pretty cool. All right, looks like we got about 200 and what do we got? About 230 viewers at the moment. So big shout out there. 230 people watching at the moment. So big shout out to everybody. Don't forget to smash the follow button, hit the subscribe button, because we are going to bring alpha after alpha after alpha. And of course, it's given to you, but not by me. I'm just conveying it, but it's given to you by all the developers out there, all the community leaders, all the people in the PulseChain and in crypto. And so big shout out to everybody out there. You guys are doing a great job. And we're just trying to highlight it here on this channel because it's time to get the energy back on PulseChain, and it's time to get everybody excited. And we've got a great bunch of people in the community, and I know they're going to do some amazing things in the future, no matter what the market cycle is, what the tone is. We know that Trump is trying to reorder the world order at the moment, so we're obviously going to have a bit of volatility while he resets that and deals with this $1.2 trillion trade deficit in the United States, and that's been going on for decades. So he's finally dealing with that, and unfortunately for us in crypto, it's going to give us a bit of volatility in the market. But we know that Bitcoin is going to have a super rally this year and into next year. And of course, if he is going to get the US back to high growth, then we're all going to grow with it. So short-term pain, long-term gain. So pick off those really quality projects, and hopefully some of these may enter your portfolio book there. All right, so Wookie says, who just fell in chat, says Wookie. That's hilarious there. I'm here for the excitement, says Triple Alliance. That's true. Is here all PulseChain OGs gathering. There are a lot of PulseChain OGs gathering for sure. Big shout out to everybody there. In fact, we were in chat the other day just flashbacking on the old early Hex days with the AA lobby. And we went even further back to when Richard Hart was wearing a top hat. I mean, it was crazy in Discord. We talk about all sorts of crazy stuff in there. Flashbacks sometimes as well. Not just future stuff, but flashbacks. We got DG and Hexagon in the house there. Hey, fam, good to see you, DG and Hexagon. Welcome to the chat. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's get ready to rumble for number 5. And number 5 is a double prize. because we got 2 protocols coming here for them. So let's get into it. And that is a Tetra and Signum Oracle. Tetra is coming, and I think it's going to be amazing. And we got some cool stuff here. I'm going to play this little video, and I'm going to keep the sound off though. But here it is. How can I automate my crypto? This is going to be a decentralized, downloadable product to do like limit orders and trading and things like that. It's going to be pretty neat. Now, the thing I like about this, and big shout out to Peso dude out there, is that this is coming soon. So it says February 21, but we know it's coming the 11th of April. They had a few glitches they had to fix up, but it is coming down the pipeline. And of course, this is what happens when you test new products. You got to make sure that they're 100% by the time you launch them, and that's what this team is doing. So we're pretty excited about that. Now, at first they had a Web3 version, which was amazing. Now, if you've ever done Blender 3D artwork, have you ever done that? So Blender 3D, they have these nodes, what they call nodes and connectors, and it's a way of tweaking colors and animations and automating things like that. It's really, really clever. Well, this is what they're bringing to some of these products here for Tetra. So we're excited about it. And it's going to be downloadable. So instead that they've moved away from the Web3 to downloadable, so it's fully decentralized. And we know Richard Hart likes that sort of thing with the IPFS and things like that. So this is going to be a real game changer. We're going to try and have these guys on to cover this product because it's I would say a niche but expanding market that is definitely needed. And of course, a lot of people are going to really like it. And what I could see is just like going to trading platforms and you get people doing their trades, how they set up their trades, what trades they're doing, and people follow those people. They often pay them to stuff like that. We may very well see that with some of the setups here with this downloadable trading software coming from Tetra. This could be really, really, really exciting. So keep a lookout for this. This is a big deal. So that's going to be coming up, and 11th of April is the current expected launch date. I do know that they've had a lot of support from the community, and so we're really, really excited about that. And they recently, of course, launched the Signum token there for the Oracle that's coming up as well on the 9th of January. And remember, Signum Oracle is kind of a prerequisite for PUSD ALGO, the one we talked about just before. So this is going to be a big, big deal there as well. Signum Oracle is coming also. So this is from Neil. We've got one of the team members in the chat there at the moment, Neil. So big shout out to you, Neil, and your team. And of course, Stu's out there. Stu's kind of, I think, the main founder there, but they've got a big team. I think at least a couple of guys, 3 or 4 guys in there at least. So big shout out to Neil out there. And this is coming, right? This is coming. So let's quickly look at Tetra. We're going to have a look at the website, and you can see automate your DeFi. Pretty exciting. And they're going to have these dashboards. And of course, within the dashboards, you're going to be able to download this to your own computer, right? So it's going to be neat. And you're going to be able to start setting up different trading things, interacting with smart contracts potentially as well, is the way I understand it. So we're going to get a lot of clarification around some of those things, but these are kind of the products that they're going to have. This DeFi dashboard, we're going to be able to set up different trade automations, things like that. And of course, I think they're also going to have the Stratus, which is the thing that's similar to Blender 3D. So Blender 3D is like a professional level 3D software, but it's free compared to the commercial versions. And one of the things they have in there is nodes and connectors. And in this here, you can actually see it's got functions. Typically, they connect to smart contracts and markets as well. So if you get a price trigger, you can do a limit order and execute things like that. And you can set up your own different strategies there. And this makes coding, it gets rid of coding and makes it so that people that don't know coding can do drag and drops here. Stratus is the drag and drop editor from Tetra. Use Stratus to connect together smart contracts on the blockchain and create automations or manage complex strategies without writing single code. So just like we see on these trading platforms where people say, this is my trade, this is what I'm doing, this is the setup, this is the high, the long and the short, this is the risk and the reward. We could see a lot of stuff happening on these contracts with these project protocols. This could be a whole new booming area for PulseChain in the trading space, which is something we need to open wide up. I think it's a huge opportunity there. This could be absolutely mega. So we're going to get more details on this as we move forward. The other big thing, of course, is that Tetra is doing the Oracle. And so we're looking for that. That's Signum Oracle. That's coming up as well. And we've actually got, a really good video from Crypto Graphics, which is another big PulseChain influencer out there as well. And he's doing some great stuff out there. And he's got this video on how that works. So I'm going to mute it for a minute, but you can sort of see he's got this video on the Oracle, how it works. And of course, this is exciting coming up. Now, recently, about a couple of weeks ago, we had the Fetch Oracle launch from Liquid Loans, but the Signum Oracle is going to have a few more bells and whistles on it, including an RNG feature as well. And this is from Tala, right? So Tala, one of the big oracles on the Ethereum chain, This is part of what they have. So this is going to be really exciting. We know that also Jacob from PUSD ALGO needs RNG generators and things like that, which are independent from their own centralized ones, right? So that's kind of where we're looking forward to here. So this is going to be pretty exciting to see this launch on PulseChain. And you can definitely check out this video on Signum Oracle here. And of course, you can find that through Tetra link that I posted in the chat there at number 5. So this is very, very, very exciting. So looking good, looking good. So pretty cool. And you can read some of those graphs there as we move forward. So big thing about Signum Oracle is it has these things called reporters. That's where people provide information. They get paid tips for it. So this is another way of earning income as well that some people may not think about. So with oracles, you can provide information. You can automate that provision as well. And of course, you need to stake some of the native tokens. Just like on Fetch, you need to stake some on Signum. And at the moment, it's super cheap to get, right? So you might as well get them now if you're going to be doing that. And then, of course, once the project launches, you'll be able to stake and provide information. The other thing, of course, is, and I think it's 500 tokens, 500 Signum tokens, I think it is the number on that, or maybe 750. You can let me know, Neil, in the chat. I think it's 750 or 500. I'm just trying to remember now. I think it's 750. I think it may be 750. But you can definitely see that. What else have we got? Triple Alliance says Tetra is coming up to dominate the world. I like that. And Neil says, yep, we're working hard. Stu is the man there. A big shout out to you guys at Signum and Tetra. These are game-changing products, and PulseChain is going to be forever benefited from them, I'm sure. Because what happens with the Signum oracles, with like Fetch Oracle, is that people, project teams can come and use these oracles for price feeds, non-price feeds, and particularly for Signum, tools like RNG numbers, which generate random numbers as much as possible. Now, we all know there's no perfect random number generator. So these are, complex forms of generating a random number, but it's kind of the holy grail of mathematics, really, and one of those, holy grails, as we say. But that's kind of the play there. We got next says that Emmet Farm yield alpha for PulseChain and Dark Horse. Pretty cool. Yeah, definitely check out Emmet Farm and Dark Horse on PulseChain. They're definitely rising stars. Emmet Farm, of course, has dominated our poll. We did a poll on farms on PulseChain. Emmet Farm dominating that field and now is in the crossover field as well. We had a new poll about that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We got NJ says, dang, this all kind of puts it more into perspective to how early it is to the chain. Yeah. Hey, sometimes chains can be a couple of years before they really make their heyday. It is true too. But PulseChain has got the magic carpet ride there, and we're just waiting for ETH to rally. That's obviously going to be a bit further down the line in this year. But hey, look, once we get through this volatility, maybe in the week ahead, it could be absolutely game on there. We're the OG badge. Yeah, definitely. We love OG. $500 worth. There says Neil. $500 worth of tokens required for Signum Oracle. Very cool. Thanks for that. And Neil says OG heart for PulseChainers. Nice one. And a big shout out there from UFO. Big shout out to you guys. Now, PDC UFO, I'm going to be doing some coverage on them. So if you're in the PDC UFO community, I am going to be doing an expose on them. And of course, recently we've been covering the printer tokens. We've done OG WebChef recently. PDC is the next one I am covering. So there's lots of love coming out for me to that group because obviously I love that community. And, big shout out to Hayden who set that all up because what a great job he did setting up that early form of printer token, as we say. Now, they're all kind of slightly designed different, but obviously for Investor bringing in a whole new wave of printer tokens there. Neil says Signum will also allow for outside information to be published on the chain, such as reports, scores, as such. Nice one, Neil. Yeah, this is a major contribution to PulseChain. Now, a lot of people have been talking about PDI, right, and PDI Maker. Now, obviously, there's several problems there with it's got an internal oracle. Some of the ratios are incorrect, obviously, relative to PulseChain, so it's misprices. It's also got a couple other things around historical prices that will be an issue, even if you do a replay on it. And some people talk about forking the protocol. Some people also, another issue is taking over the maker contract to try and fix up some of those issues. There's lots of things there, right? And that's even if you get to that point, it's not a given because of historical prices, because we haven't had an oracle on PulseChain. So you've got lots of issues around that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, that field. But we've got PUSD ALGO coming. We're going to have that algorithmic stablecoin. So I'm not worried in that space at all. And we've got the oracle coming, which, even if PDI Maker can get itself across the board, they've got some oracles that are going to have, at least for the future, and maybe a maker fork going forward is the way to go. Or maybe if they can repair the existing maker contract, that could be something else as well. So we'll keep tabs on all that stuff. That is pretty interesting for sure. So big shout out to everybody at the moment. You guys are crushing it out there. Looks like we're doing about 260 people watching. big shout out to you guys. The community is what counts, and I really appreciate it. As you guys know, I've been around for many, many years in this space. And of course, Richard from the Top Hat days right through to today. And hey, look, I've been very consistent because I really believe in Richard Hart. I believe in the PulseChain. And of course, I believe in really just quality crypto. I love crypto. I'm addicted to crypto just like you guys are, because it's just the most exciting place. If you're not doing, if you're not trying to become an Olympian, it's probably the most exciting place on the planet doing crypto. That's for sure. Hey, we got Sharimi in the house there. Hey, thank you. Hey, you're welcome. A big shout out to you there. All right, so let's move on. That is the top 5. So let's sum that all up. Let's sum it all up, and here we go on a sum up. So this is what I posted at the moment. You can get a link to this post. Obviously, just hit me up on Kryptonite Show. So that's the tag there at Kryptonite Show. You can see at the top there. That is the handle. And top 5 projects are coming to PulseChain soon. I'm going to post a link to this if you guys want to check it out on YouTube. Maybe the mods can post it out over on X and on the old Rumble there. And a big shout out to everybody over on X and Rumble. They've just added those communities over to the live stream, and you guys are absolutely crushing out there. And we're not slowing down. We are going to grow, and we want to create a very positive environment. And so we're going to do covering a lot of communities to give you guys the best angle as well. So check that out. There we are, Kryptonite Show. All right, cool. Now, we've got obviously Soil there. We've covered that. Number 1, big European food corporate mega onboarding, looking like April is the mid to late April there that we've got all that launching. We've got Banksa is going to be the big partner there for onboarding. We've got tens of thousands of people following Banksa and potentially onboarding millions of people to PulseChain. We've got SolidX there coming up as well. X Game from Firewhale and Randy Alasky looking awesome there. Crash Game, a casino with influencer referral. That could be a go viral killer app on PulseChain. And of course, I'll be covering that for sure. As many of you may not know, I was one of the top Bitfury referrers over to Bitfury because it was such a quality project. But what's happening with these projects, they're even better because they're fully decentralized. So these projects, and I'm full on DeFi guy. I want DeFi to rule the roost as much as possible, right? Now, this is going to be pretty awesome. Third one, PUSD Algo, first ultimate algorithmic coin, the holy grail of stable coins coming to PulseChain. That's got to be good. But what I would say is arguably the world's best peer-to-peer dev, Jacob, and I think it's his flagship project, and he's hired a dev team for that. We're waiting for Signum Oracle to launch on the 11th of April. That's going to be key as well. Now, a real Pulse coin. We're finally going to get a AAA grade Midgard block explorer for PulseChain. That's looking like potentially April, I think. I'm not sure if they had an update in the video today, but that's definitely coming up very, very soon. Tetra, of course, coming up with, and that's going to give us trading, decentralized trading tools like limit orders and connecting up the contracts could be absolutely massive. And of course, the Signum Oracle there is going to be a game changer for protocols. Obviously, one of the first users of that will be PUSD Algo, who have already got some Signum coins, hint, hint, wink, wink, all that good stuff. So that's going to be downloadable too, that downloadable DeFi trading. And I think there's a huge opportunity there to get some of these sort of trading strategy clubs set up. That could be a huge part of that. So maybe something for the teams out there to think about with this product. So maybe hit up Neil and Stu and stuff like that at the Tetra group, because I think that's a good direction forward for expanding the users as well. Next says DeFi is the only way. It is the only way for sure. Once you've been in crypto for a while, you really got to get off the centralized exchanges, get into DeFi, get out of the TradeFi projects, right, and get into DeFi projects. But you do need to get experienced so that, because remember, you are fully responsible for your own decisions. You are your own bank in DeFi, right? You are your own bank. Which means you don't have to deal with some customer service officer. You are the customer service officer. That's pretty much it. UFO says, will it use an Oracle, Neil, for shares? I think you guys are talking about, Tetra. You can answer that one, Neil. That's one for you for sure. All right, so Neil says, I apologize, it's $750 worth of Signum tokens to be a reporter. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I said 500, but then I was like, oh, $750. But I couldn't remember whether it was tokens or dollars, but it's $750. That's kind of cool. Thanks for the clarification there, Neil. Big rock star there. All right, let's get into some other stuff here. That is our update there, folks, the top 5. But I do want to talk about a few other things we've got going on before we get into the market coverage. So that is the top 5 there. Now, we did have a poll back here, and I want to talk about this. And I did a poll here. Let me just jump back here. See where did I get to? No, I want to get back down here. This is the poll that I want to look at. Let's jump back down. Down. Let's go here. Not that one. And let me jump down. The poll's here. It's not far away. Bear with me. I'm pretty sure it's down here somewhere. Is that the poll I did? Maybe that was the poll I did. Sure, I did another poll down here somewhere. I'm trying to find my poll. It's too far down. I didn't think it was this far down, honestly, when I started scrolling. But it's definitely coming up. All right, never mind. I missed that one. But let me just refresh here. I want to get to the latest poll. But this is the latest poll I got at the moment. This is a big deal. I did just finished a poll, and we got really good results around printer tokens. So big shout out there. But now we got the new poll. So this is kind of, we've been doing individual category polls, like we did farms. We've done printer tokens, like we've done the individual category. And now we're taking the best tokens from those polls that won those polls into an overall PulseChain poll, right? So this is kind of some of the hot products. It's not all the tokens, of course. There's many tokens on PulseChain, but these are kind of the ones that migrated, that got won the previous polls in their category, and now we're doing a cross-category poll, right? So these are protocols that are really hot right now. They have really big and growing communities, and they've all got in there, right? So we got Emmett Farm Kairos. This is the number one yield farm on PulseChain right now, right? It's honestly, the tokenomics on this farm, it's not a big farm, but the tokenomics on this farm are growing, and it's very clever. The balancing inside this farm is very clever, and Kairos there has been around for a long time. He originally did the Impulse project, but this here, he's been very clever with the tokenomics, and I'm going to show those tokenomics moving forward. So big shout out to Kairos there. This guy's a pretty clever guy, and of course, to make a farm sustainable, right, rather than just a pump and a dump, to make it sustainable, and he's put on some really good balancing stuff in there. We're going to talk more about that in the future. Now, the second one, of course, is PDC. Really the first, I would argue, the first of the printer tokens there from Hayden. I think was this, what is it, over 6-7 months ago, something like that. So they're from Hayden there, from Pulse TDC. Just absolutely amazing there with PDC. And, of course, also, I call it the father token. And then, of course, you got the child token UFO. That's how I put it together. You guys decide whether that's a good analogy or not, but it's just a way of explaining it, really. And PDC there has a 5% tax, right? And it gets allocated into 5 different areas. And that is a huge community on PulseChain. So big shout out to them. And that's the next project I'm going to be covering coming up in the next couple of days. So just keep a lookout for that because they have done so much good stuff. And I really, after a huge, massive rally, one of the very best performers on PulseChain, it's had a bit of a pullback. But now it's looking really good as a pickup. And so we're going to be talking about that. I posted out a TH out the other day. And then we got our third project that we've been talking about, Finvestor by OG WebChef there. Absolute game changer, huge ecosystem of printer tokens, and that has made the list as well. And so we got our top 3 that we consider kind of popular at the moment. We've got the rising star of Emmett Farms, which dominated the farm category, now with some of the printer tokens as well, with PDC and Finvestor. And these are the top 3 that we're looking at. So far, we've got 900 votes on this so far. And really, it is the battle of the engaged community. So what's the question? Which top performing token has the most active community on PulseChain? So it's not about which is the best token. Obviously PDC and Finvestor are huge communities compared to Emmett, but it's really about what is the most active community out there. There are a lot of people involved with all these 3 communities. So let's see how it gets on there. So we've got 3 good projects there, all doing extremely well at the moment. And really, Emmett Farm's kind of taken over from PulseX with the high yields, taken over a 9-inch and 9mm and all that sort of stuff. The yields are pretty attractive for all the PulseX tokens, Hex, Pulse, PulseX, and posted out about that earlier. PDC, of course, crushing it. Looks like it's on the comeback trail. Got an awesome DAO setup, massive amount of tokens in there. And then we've got Finvestor just crushing it with these drips to the wallets at the moment. And, of course, getting really good price appreciation for a lot of them as well. Bringing on that new tech, right? That new tech, the LP webbing, the arbitrage, the imbalancing, doing very well there. So definitely get your votes out. I'm going to post a link to this in the chat there if you guys want to comment on that, and if the mods could post that out as well, that'd be really good. So get in your vote, get your communities rallied, and get part of that. I think that's really important. And we are creating the excitement in these polls. We're creating a lot of excitement out there, and because we're really passionate about PulseChain, and we're trying to help the small teams, the medium teams, and the big teams, and have a lot of fun with it. Fun. That's what we want to do there as well. So big shout out to everybody. Great to see everybody in the house, by the way. Looks like we've got, about 275 people watching at the moment. So big shout out. Hope you guys are enjoying it and get excited again in PulseChain. I know we've had a few hits on the way, but man, Richard Hart defeated the SEC only a few weeks ago. We've got the extension by the SEC coming up on the 21st I really think it's going to end up with a nothing burger. Their case is so bad. And of course, we've got a new administration under President Donald J. Trump. And of course, the new SEC administration, they're moving away from lawfare and they're moving towards clarifications and regulations that are practical and supportive of crypto, because Trump wants to be the number one leader in blockchain and crypto in the world. And of course, one of those big things is setting up the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and of course, setting up the altcoin stockpile as well. So they're going to run their own crypto stockpile there. And we know that many of the people in the government and the Republicans, even the Democrats, are looking to get a lot of investment vehicles set up, potentially with some of the money from U.S. government through some different means. Obviously, we know that the strategy that Trump announced was budget neutral, but you just never know where that might come from. Obviously, budget neutral, you got revenue expenses, so you can play around with those. And of course, a Doge there. Doge is out there with Elon Musk, saving America $1 trillion, hopefully, by it's all said and done, and getting rid of at least 50% of their budget deficit. And of course, if they can get growth moving up over to 3 or 4% in the United States with Trump's golden crypto plan or golden American plan, then you're looking at getting rid of that budget altogether, moving back to balanced budget, and with the help, of course, from trade tariffs revenue, that's going to be huge too. And then America's back on the winning streak there, right? Get rid of its trade deficits, get rid of its deficit, and on to growing the U.S. economy. Everyone's going to get richer in America. America is the big consumer. It is $28 trillion revenue, 20% of the world's GDP, the number one consumer. And of course, as the ones with running the deficits against China and places, it's the one that's holding all the cards. So just remember that it's the country with the deficit, that's the big consumer that's in control, and the reserve currency. So it's a lot of fun to see this all play out as well. But unfortunately, we got volatility in the short term. So just get into some of these cool projects and ride it through. That's all we can say. We got a couple comments in here as well. Who else has jumped in here? Next says Cairo Dev at Emmett is a legend. He's really impressed me with a lot of cool things, and I'm going to talk about that coming up as well. So I'm going to be talking about PDC, going to be talking about Emmett, going to be talking about more about Finvesta coming up as we're doing this poll. This poll runs for 3 days, so definitely get in and vote and share it around to your communities. It's the way to go. Next says Emmett is undervalued. Definitely is undervalued, and we're going to talk about that too once we get a bit more updates there. What else we got going on there? Let's jump through some of these. And next says OG Heart 369 ecosystem will make many more PulseChainers as hex holders as well. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be covering a lot of the validated type of coins and staking coins around Pulse. Because there's a whole list of those now. I'm thinking about Haunted and Validated X. I'm talking about normal validating, Dave Feder, and many others. So the video is going to come out with all those tokens, and some of them are like crossing over into almost staking / printer tokens. So we're going to get into some of those things as well. But that's coming up as well. That's another topic we're going to be looking at. Man, we're going to cover sort of conservative, more safe plays on PulseChain, as well as the more speculative plays. We're going to cover the whole range as well. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So big shout out to Next out there putting in some great alpha. Now, this is the second half of our show. We're an hour and 70 minutes on the hour, so it's a very long show. Normally I do an hour and 15 max, so we're just passing that. But we're going to spend the next 12 minutes. That will bring us up to an hour and a half on the market results. Obviously, the market crypto held up for quite a while after the tariffs. But given the futures on the US markets are down 3%. That's building on, of course, it was down 10 to 12% on Thursday, Friday, after having a very green start to the week, if you guys remember, before Liberation Day. And here we are at, what's that, 4,900 on the US 500. So that is down 3%. It was down close to 5% earlier. So that has actually pulled back a little bit. You can see that in the chart. It's actually come back a little bit there. But it's definitely was down a lot further there. 4,800 now at 4,900 on the US 500. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Now, what's happened to crypto in response? Crypto, of course, has pulled back eventually. Now, held up pretty well. Now, we were very bullish, and of course, it had decoupled to a degree. But today, the market makers have decided that the futures is going down again. And so 3 days in a row was enough. And so therefore, they take profits over on crypto and they send the market down, right? And they take that off the table. Sometimes they may pick up stuff on the stock market potentially. Other times they just take it off the table and they set up their shorts, right? They short the market on those moves. So the market makers, and this is probably the only one setback with institutions that's coming into crypto is in a bigger way. Even though it's bullish with the money coming out, and it will be bullish long term because they bring all this money in and setups, is that we get more manipulation. So we have manipulation all the time, but we get even more players that can manipulate the market or try to using financial derivatives and other products. So this is kind of where we are. Bitcoin at the moment, 79,000. We knew that we're going to have volatility anyway. I talked about that yesterday, the day before. We got our little orange circle, if you guys know, because just the way it was going, we've got so much stuff. We've got inflation coming up this week as well. We know that Trump is not removing the tariffs, but here's the good news. 50 countries have already contacted the Trump administration to do negotiations. Pretty awesome. Now, some of the people were confused by the fact that he pulled up. Remember, he had that big plaque and he had all these tariffs on it, and then some of it included like national GSTs and VAT taxes, so domestic taxes, and of course added to the existing, international tariffs. And of course, it was all about addressing the deficits, regardless of whether VAT taxes or GST or whatever, goods and services taxes, indirect taxes, as we call it. But it's irrespective. The other thing, of course, he touched all these other countries, random countries, little islands down there near Antarctic and places like that. And the reason for that is because if you don't include those countries, then big countries like China go through secondary countries, right? They go through Mexico. They go through any place that they can not get hit by the tariff, right? So this is the reason why you got the most ridiculous places in the world included with these tariffs. So just if you want to see the whole strategy, they've thought about a lot of the stuff. They've really covered a lot of the balls here. He's got some very super smart guys, and of course we've talked about that on a previous live stream as well. And of course it's Besson's doing a great job there. So yeah, Treasury Secretary, all those guys doing an amazing job. It is pretty awesome. So yeah, and if you haven't checked out my video, honestly, check it out. Trump's master plan. If you watch that video, it will open your eyes to everything that's going on with Trump. It's pretty awesome. In fact, I should do a second version because it's got a little bit of extra stuff these days that we can push into that. But yeah, I call it the triple stool, or is it triple leg stool strategy? You got to get into there, and it covers the whole game. You're going to understand. You go, okay. If you haven't really, because so many people don't follow it, right? They don't follow it. So if you watch that, you're going to go, oh my God, really? That all makes sense. And you got to remember that he always used the arts of the deal, right? The art of the deal. So that's his basic strategy. He always creates a lot of confusion and vagueness, and then negotiates with strength after that. So it's kind of neat. I love watching it, even though it does hit the crypto bags, unfortunately, to some degree. Next says Dark Horse Dark Chief Amplifier will print 2% Remember yield, 2% Beast yield, 1% gas money, and 1% Dark Burn, and 1% Treasury yield. Nice. Yeah, Dark Horse is moving in to the printer space, so that's going to be exciting coming up. We're going to cover that too. All right, awesome there. Next, big shout out to you. All right, so that's where we're at the moment. Everything's down 5.4% on Bitcoin, 79,000. In fact, let's move into a bigger screen. Let's do it. Let's go full FOMO mode, even though it's a red day. And we've got Bitcoin there at 79,210. We've got ETH down 11.5%, $600. So remember, these are opportunities to buy. You just got to buy the low. So if you've got fresh capital, this is where to go. If you've got stable coins, you've got to look out for the low this week, because we're probably going to get the low. BNB down 5%, $563. Solana down 11% at $107. Tron there down 2.1%. ADA down 11% at 58 cents. Those are kind of the marks there. And XRP down 10% as well. Now, remember, BNB will typically go down a lot less than the rest of them because of their tokens burned in their control. So just remember that. It can be relatively safe on BNB versus the others, but then it typically goes up a bit slower as well over on the BNB chain there. Now, let's have a look at some of the analysis here. We've got Bitcoin. So we had some analysis here from CNBC. Bitcoin dropped Sunday evening as cryptocurrencies joined the global market rout there. So the coupling argument, of course, has been hit a little bit here, but it was looking like it was somewhat decoupled there. There's really no reason for it to go down except for the wealth effect from the stock market going down and the sentiment in the market, as well as the market makers. Really, the market makers there really sending it down. So that decoupling has not yet come into play. Now, we know that BlackRock CEO talked about Bitcoin being the digital gold, and it still is the case here. I mean, we're still holding it pretty well at the moment around the 78K mark. So Bitcoin fell below 78K level as investors brace for more financial market volatility after U.S. equities suffered their worst declines in 2020 on the rollout of President Donald Trump restrictive global tariffs. The price of Bitcoin lowered by 6%. So it went down quite a bit there. After trading above 80K for most of the year, barring a couple of brief blips below it and amongst recent volatility. It's off its January all-time high by 40%. Remember, Bitcoin got up to $108,000. It was so good. The flagship cryptocurrency usually trades like a big tech stock. And now I would agree with that rather than digital gold, but I think it's slowly going to move into the digital gold space as it matures. And of course, we saw Michael Saylor as 20-year projection moving Bitcoin up to $13 million for his base case. That is going to be fun to see that play out. And of course, he buys more. He buys more Bitcoin, and so we're probably going to see him do a buy as well. Pretty crazy there. The flagship cryptocurrency usually trades like a tick stock and is usually viewed by traders as a leading indicator for market sentiment. But last week, it bucked the broader market meltdown, holding between 82 and 83K and rising to the end of the week as stocks tumbled and even gold fell. Yeah, that gold falling was really interesting while crypto held up. But once again, the market makers have come in and they decided we're going to short this, short crypto. It looks like that's what they've done there. Other cryptocurrencies suffered bigger losses overnight. Ether and the token tried to Solana, tumbled about 12 and 11% respectively. Bitcoin's down move triggered a wave of long liquidations. So they get rid of a lot of people, right? They test liquidations. They got rid of them as trades betting on an increase in its price were forced to sell their assets to cover their losses. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has seen more than $218 million in long liquidations. According to CoinGlass, it's probably even higher now. Either saw 196 million in long liquidations the same period. So the shorts would have gone bigger, right? Now, this is one of the things that we haven't seen on PulseChain, right? We've got Famous, right? Famous is a fork of GMX on PulseChain. It's from PH Universe guys. They did a great job early on bringing us alpha projects. They bought us a fork of Aave. They bought us a fork of GMX. They bought us, the Fatty wallet and all that sort of stuff. They did a great job. And but what we've seen recently, a lot of people not even shorting PulseChain. Found that quite interesting. And the longs are still in play, but there's not a lot of users at the moment. They've got just over 1,000. So it's going to be interesting to see whether that gets used a lot. I think we know that Eric Wall likes to use Famous, but apart from that, we haven't seen a lot of stuff there. Now, rattled investors dumped their holdings of cryptocurrencies while trading 24 hours over the weekend as they anticipated further carnage of the Trump's retaliatory tariffs raised global recession fears and caused investors to sell up. Now, we know mainstream media's been all over this over the weekend, and of course, we know that a lot of Trump's cabinet's been out there, talking about these tariffs are going to be around for a while. But the countries are moving to get into alignment. As I said to you, Trump's going to split the world up into countries that are aligned, basically allies, or some people like to say vassal states. So I'm not quite, don't quite use that language. And then we're going to have other stuff as well. So it's pretty cool. We're going to have other stuff that's going to be, people that are enemies or frenemies, and then we're going to have neutral countries that try to sit in the middle there and play both sides, which is typically like the European Union. Although I think they're going to move to the frenemy side there to some degree. We got because they're mostly full of authoritarians in the EU. Let's be frank. The duties on all imports in addition to custom tariffs for major trading partners has sparked worries of global trade war that could lead the US into recession. Now, we've already seen 50 countries going to negotiation, so they're going to capitulate. US is in the box position. US is the one with the 1.2 trillion deficit. It does need to deal with that. Now, that excludes services, so obviously in services, but really you got to get the deficit because why? America's between the mid-70s and now has lost 7 million jobs. I'm not kidding you. It absolutely gutted a lot of jobs and communities in the Midwest and in the North there in the United States. And who boomed? The Democrats on the East and West Coast, right? They lived it up large in the service sector and in the government sector and large in the government at the expense of middle America. And so Trump is reversing it. And so this is going to be great for manufacturing in the United States, not just for car manufacturing, but for the latest technology, AI technology, semiconductors, you name it. It's coming. Space technology. It's all coming. Robotics. It's all coming to the America. And you watch the next 4 years. The golden age of America is going to be absolutely amazing, and it's going to be a lot of fun there. So yeah, it's going to be dealt with pretty awesome. It had to be dealt with. And I like Trump's analogy. He was on doing a gaggle on the plane, and he was saying, "Hey." I just did an operation. These tariffs, this Liberation Day is an operation on a sick patient, the sick patient being the United States, and of course taking advantage from around the world, from the EU, from China, India, you name it, Japan, South Korea, all the countries, even the frenemies, right? Even the friends taking advantage there with tariffs on their thing when America's got low tariffs to no tariffs, right? And they were just eating their lunch there, and he's reversing there. And of course, it's awesome for America. Honestly, this is going to be so good. And once America is healed, the rest of the world's going to be more wealthy, more safe, and more prosperous. And it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. So we really are going into the golden age, not just America, but for the rest of the world. And it may very well help countries like New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, and places like that. With we've got really bad leaders, really bad authoritarian leaders, and hopefully the Trump effect is going to play out there for more freedom, more prosperity, more security. So fingers crossed that we get some benefit here as well. Now, that's pretty cool. So, global stocks there wiped out. Of course, 7.46 trillion in market value. Woohoo! The figure includes 5.87 trillion loss in the US stock market over the 2 sessions, another 1.6 trillion in market value. Bitcoin is down 50% in 2025. And of course, absent a crypto-specific catalyst, is expected to continue moving in tandem with the equities as global recession fears overshadow any regulatory tailwinds. Crypto as expected to benefit, although we're expecting a reversal here. So let's talk about that. That is the state of the place. It's kind of the bad news today, but the good news is 70% chance of crypto bottoming before June. And of course, I'm expecting this to be a bit earlier, to be honest. So I still think this quarter is going to usher in a lot of money into crypto. I still think the week ahead of us is volatile. We've got inflation coming out and things like that. But man, it is going to be fun to see that play out. This is nascent data estimates a 70% probability that crypto prices will bottom between now and June. And with BTC and ETH currently trading 15-22% below the year highs, year-to-date highs, I should say. Given this data, upcoming discussions will serve as crucial market indicators. Once the toughest part of the negotiations behind us, and of course, we've got 50 countries already capitulating there, we see a clearer opportunity for crypto and risk assets to finally mark a bottom. Now, I think we've got about 192, 196 countries in the world. So obviously, most of them are getting on board, and all the major players, right? Except for China, put a 34% tariff, but they're going to capitulate because that's insane for themselves, right? So because we've got countries like Japan and other countries that will eat, Southeast Asian countries that will eat China's lunch, right? They got cheaper wages, and of course they can be more competitive there. But hey, look, America's going to get its manufacturing back. With the manufacturing coming back to the Midwest, the middle class is going to come back to the Middle East, and it's going to be a much better place for the United States. And of course, the border is 98, 99% secure now, maybe even close to 100. It's going to be pretty awesome there. So America is back onto the gold. So here is Bitcoin. I think I'm going way over time today, but we're having fun, so we're going to keep going. 1 hour and 31. And we got Bitcoin here, the golden race. This is what we're looking at. So this circle was the volatility period. And so I'm still expecting that to go up. I've got it till mid-15th, to the 15th of April, and then we'll probably settle down somewhere. So we've still got the 200-day at 85,200 and the 50-day at 86,500. So we are about to enter a death cross, but it may be very short-lived. So we'll see how long that is lived, maybe 2 weeks possibly. But yeah, we could end up moving out there. We would need a very big green candles to avoid that at the moment. But hey, this crypto, maybe by the end of next week, we might get it. Who knows? Because if some good news comes out about major country negotiations, things like that, that will move the market back up, right? So we'll keep a lookout for that. Now, we do have, of course, we had baseline tariffs. They got launched on the 5th of April, and we've got higher tariffs coming in for countries coming in on the 9th of April. So we've still got a volatility this week. That's why we've got the big orange circle. And we've also got on Thursday, the day after higher tariffs being applied, we've got the inflation data, the CPI coming out as well. That's going to feed into the Federal Reserve, right? What do we want in the economy? You want low oil prices, low energy prices, and you're going to lower inflation and boom the economy. You also want low interest rates, right? So that money is cheap, risk on happens, and also people borrow and invest. These are kind of the ideas there, right? And the private budgets get a lower expense for those that have mortgages, and want to borrow stuff as well to consume. So there's kind of a win-win there. And I think we're going to probably see a bit of a capitulation with the Federal Reserve earlier than later, especially if we move down into a short-term area where we may, touch the recession or get, pull back quite a bit there. That's still not in the cards at the moment. It's about a 40% chance. So we'll see how we go with that. Going to be pretty interesting. So that is Bitcoin. And we're going to quickly run through PulseChain. Day 696. We got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0201. It's followed the markets down 12.4%, sitting at 20% of the mean sacrifice price. We got PulseX at quadruple 0172, down 13, almost 14%, and the buy and burn sitting at 1.36 trillion at the moment. And of course, the price of PulseX at quadruple 0172. Incentive token is at $1.07, down 10% as well. The supply is 55 million. We know that Richard Hart recently cut the inflation by 20x, so it's only 5% growth now. And these are important signals from Richard Hart. We've only got 5% now, so liquidity came down, I think, a couple $100 million, and so we've got thin liquidity. That means we can pump easily and fast on the upwards. We can also pump easily and fast on the downwards. Obviously, we've recently had the PDI issue and the exploiter issue, and so he's been trying to close out that LP webbing, and some teams have done that, right? Like PGC and SolidX and people like that. And we've also had the drama about Troper as well, right? So that's kind of the play at the moment. So that's sort of working itself through. Hex at the moment is at 45/100th of a penny, down 14.4%. What a bargain at the moment, I think. Of course, Hex being one of the fourth best performers in 2021. And then finally, we've got some of the gas prices over here. Let's have a look how we're doing there. 8.6 million beats, 6 cents for a PulseX swap at the moment. So gas has been really volatile these days. We've got validators at 48,869. So more people are getting into validating. And I'm going to talk about that. I want to do a video on all those projects. So that's coming up as well. And so you can hit me up about any projects that you think are in the validated space or staking space for Pulse. I'll be happy to hear about that. And then, of course, bridging, we're sitting at 78.7 million. That's down from 82.5 million yesterday. So that's a significant move down. So we're down, about just under $4 million. So maybe 3.8 million from yesterday on the bridge value. What is driving that? Well, we've had a little bit of drop off here, about 150 to 200K on DAI. So we're down at 23.9. USD DC probably down a little bit there. USD Tether possibly looks kind of similar, but it might be down a little bit there. ETH is obviously down dramatically, and Bitcoin is down dramatically in price, and EHEX is down as well. So those are kind of dragging us down there at the moment. What's holding us up? Well, one of our stable coins, the fiat-backed one that we talked about earlier, the Coast, $9.2 million, looking like a boss there. And not bad at all, I would say. Not bad at all. And yeah, the stable coin's looking pretty good there. Those are 3 out of the 4 liquidity forks I talked about earlier. That is the Coast stablecoin. Those are 2 different models of stablecoin. And of course, we're looking for PUSD ALGO. It's coming. You can see at the bottom there, announced but not live yet. That's coming. And we're going to give you the latest and greatest on that. Can't wait for Signum Oracle to launch. And yeah, we'll get an updated plan from PUSD ALGO. They have got dev teams though, so it's coming. Going to be pretty cool. Now, let's get into the total overall market. Well, we've got 28.6 million volume. We've only been doing about $20 to $22 million of volume the last 4 days. And we're up today 28.6, but of course it's on a negative trend in the market. But we do have some winners out there. And of course, Treasury bills still doing very well, up 52% the last 24 hours. So that's been really, really well. And Teddy Bear is, can't keep Teddy Bear down. Teddy Bear is a great meme, by the way. I know it's got the PDI link, but man, that is up 13, 14% today. So that's doing pretty well. We've got Piggy Bank. That's been around for 6 hours. Brand new token there, probably from Pump Tires. Love.io, another Pump Tires version of the original Love.io, which was a new project launched on PulseChain, a social platform. We haven't seen a lot from that team as far as I know. And then we've got PLS Miami. That's been around for over a year. That's up versus Teddy Bear up 2%. So we haven't got a lot of movers at the moment, but they're definitely, those are the stars for today. That's all we can say. All right, so we're doing pretty well here. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's content. We're going to wrap it up there because we've been going way over time here, 1 hour and 37 minutes. Can you believe it? But you guys have been awesome out there, looking pretty awesome. So, yeah, we're sitting on about 320 people watching. So a big shout out to there. Appreciate your support. Don't forget to smash the follow button, smash the subscribe, share the channel around. Really does help. As you guys know, we are super excited about the future of PulseChain. And, you know, we'll face up to realities of challenges that PulseChain has, but we really are looking to, you know, flourish. And, of course, so we're going to cover the very best quality projects. And those are the ones that people should be thinking about entering, and because obviously you want to keep away from the bad ones and into the good ones. And, of course, the better they are, the better we will be. Now, Richard Hart signaled he's cut the inflation bound not only on PulseX, on incentive token, but he's also cut it down on Hex, right? So Hex payout was 7.5 Hex per share, now down to 1.5 on both chains. Liquidity's thinned out. Man, keep a lookout. SEC is almost defeated. I don't know. We do not have the market cap rides obviously down on the ETH, but keep a lookout, man. It could be exciting moving forward. It's going to be pretty cool. And, of course, at the moment, when there's the most fear on the streets, when the prices get to the most bottom, definitely follow your TA, though, to try and get the bottom. But obviously, it's when you pick up the most bags, and you have to be patient for a while, and then game on. We know that crypto is going to rally. We know that Bitcoin's going to head eventually to this year, 150 to 250K, and maybe possibly even 400K. Nothing has changed that. Nothing that's happening right now has changed that. So pretty cool. We saw that probability getting out of this doom here, or this slow volatility period, maybe by June. That was about, 70%. So things are going to be pretty good. So just bide your time, and DCA for the win, all that good stuff. And don't take too many speculative risks trying to get your bags back up. So just remember that. Pick off some of the good ones there. All right, so that's enough from me. Let's see the final comments before we bounce out of this chat. Let's see here. We've got a couple more comments here. Special shout out to Next. I mean, you're doing great stuff there. We will be covering those upcoming products there from Dark Horse. That is looking very cool. We got tap the likes. Yeah, definitely smash the likes. Ben says, Superman, best YouTube streamer for sure. None of these other guys have your fast pace covering everything. I appreciate that, Ben. Big shout out for that. And I appreciate that. Satan in the house there. We have, wow, I haven't seen your face since Axion. Good to see you keeping on. Yeah, for sure. Now, speaking of Axion, they're actually migrating over to PulseChain over 90 days. So that's the latest from them. Big shout out to the team over there. They've got a very good, ethical leading team there. Big shout out. We've got Sharimi in the house there. We were overinflated. Market correction. Sharimi is on the play. What else? Let's jump into some of these others here. And World Affairs covering that as well. Yeah, I love politics. So we're covering that too. Economics as well. I love that. Wookie says, show you are not wrong, Ben. Yeah, show you not wrong. Buy the dips, says Sharimi there. That's over on Rumble. Big shout out to Sharimi there. But although you might be commenting on YouTube now, I think. We got Satan in the house there, 63K BTC. Yeah, well, that was my target, right? That was the bottom of my target that I talked about maybe, 2 weeks ago? And I said, we had two targets there. I think it was 73 or 74, and 63 was the very bottom of the range. But that it looks like we're in agreement there, Satan, on that one. That's a pretty bad name you got there, Satan token. But we got face-paste style type not. Hey, I know Satan. I talked to him today in the chat. So, face-paste style typo, not fact-paste, says Ben. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. That's what I tried to do, man. Try to keep it real. I love crypto, and that's what I like to talk about. I love the community. Those are the kind of the two key things there, I think. I'm not so much into drama, as you guys know, so do less drama, more crypto, more alpha, more community. That's kind of the way. And of course, that's the one thing. Remember, they asked Richard Hart, "What's your favorite thing about crypto?" And he says the community. I love that. I thought that was fantastic, and that was on one of the Hex PulseChain conferences. That was pretty cool. Let's see. We got have to start calling you Circleback Super, says Wookie. That's true. Although, she was probably one of the worst press secretaries ever. You thought that she was bad, but then they got an even worse one on the Democrat Party coming after that. That is why dry powder is important, says Satan. Absolutely. You got to have a diversified portfolio. It's so important out there, folks. Don't, even if you're onto a winner, don't over FOMO. It's really important not to do that. And keep a balanced portfolio and some dry powder, some stable coin, and of course, bring in, dry powder as well. So that's very important there. What was that? Brian says, do your own research, BDTFD, HODL, and AP7. Bullish for the future. These are just short-term growing plans. Absolutely AP. Great stream, says Satan. Appreciate that. And what else we got there? I'm going to get in these final comments. Great show, boss. Over 200 views, all channels. Actually, we're up over 300 live people at the moment. We've got 150. We're sitting at 150? Yeah, 220. No, 150. That's 320. We're on 330, 335, something like that. 335 viewers at the moment. So big shout out to everybody. And definitely smash the subscribe, hit the follow, hit the like, share our channels around, all that good stuff. And get to our poll that we had. We got that poll at the moment amongst those top 3 categories as well. And he went there. Unfortunately, it did. It happened. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Take care, everybody. And I'll catch you on the next show, an hour and 40 minutes. But it was a pack full of good stuff. We covered the top 5 mega projects coming to PulseChain. They're going to be big changes for PulseChain. We've covered the markets as well. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I'll catch you on the next show. And maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Let's see you. Big shout out there. I've got a Mafia game show coming up with Cold DeFi. That's coming up on Wednesday. So we're going to be covering that and all the latest and greatest, and probably include a bit of coverage on PUSD ALGO there as well. Because obviously he's the front man. So he's probably got a little bit of insights. So it's going to be good. All right. Bye for now. Take care. I'll catch you on the next one. And see you in Discord. See you in the Superman Crypto Gems. Take care. And I'll rug pull myself off this channel. Rug pull.